Hey folks, well, I figured it was time to do that programming adventure I was talking about. It's the microphone check. So the cameras are switching automatically during the show. I don't want it to switch as I'm talking. I want it to wait until there's silence and then switch. So I'm kind of trying to make it a little smarter, a little more like I have a camera person actually switching. Robots are the way of the future. So, yeah, I was Googling around and I found this. Or is this it? No, this isn't one. No. Not what I was looking for. Where was it? There it is. Ba-bam. This little Python script pumps out microphone levels. You can't just take one thing. You can't take just one number. It might be quiet. It might be loud. I might be in between a breath. You know? So, yeah, this just kind of, you gotta get the right Python modules in place. See that? And then you kind of open non-blocking on the right device. You set up your stream kind, you know. It's mono, it's 8K, right? Signed 16-bit little endian format. Yeah, and then you just kind of loop around. You do a read and you dump. You read and you dump. Like so. So the program that does the flipping isn't Python, though. It's C++. So I'm thinking about kind of, instead of figuring out how to do this in C++, just run this Python program, you know? That's what I'm thinking. That's the wrong window. So here's what I have so far. There is the mic PY. And it's the exact same as the other one, but we're just going to stop after a certain number of times we've slept here. So I don't know what the units are here, but that is about a second. So we run that. You see how it's... Maybe I'll just, so I can demonstrate, I'll disable this. See what happens. Bah! Bah! Isn't that cool? Ooh! Ah! Brr, 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 brr. Is this fun? Are we having fun yet? You can see the numbers. Go down, and then up, and then down, and then up. Alright. You get the sense of something's going on there. So, let me uncomment that. And now the basic thing I wanted to add was this awk craziness. Just add up all those numbers and see what they add up to. We know what the time is every time. You know? So we can just kind of do this. And it comes up with a number. And now I'm going to speak during it, la 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 la, and it's big. Pretty cool, eh? I think so. So, demonstrate again, quiet. It's under 10,000. Over 10,000. Over 12,000. So, never over 20,000. And now speaking. Hello? Oh, I didn't speak. Hello? So that's 50,000. So that's the check. So we'll just make this into its own program using Python and awk, and we'll come up with a number. Come up with a threshold number, and we'll call that number silence. So how long is this running for anyway? About 1 second. Cool. So, now what? Now I guess we gotta go Well, we got to stick this in its own program. So we have mic. You know what? I could just do this in Python. Why would I have an awk script doing that? So you can see that's the number it's printing out right there. So we'll just make sum equals 0. I don't like that that is highlighted. Might be a special word, huh? So we'll call it sound sum. Sound sum plus equals audio op max data 2. And when we're done, we're not going to print it out there. We're going to print it out here. Print sound sum. Does that work? You betcha. Very nice. All right. So we have this program called MicPy. We're going to pull that into our camera switching program. Let's do that. Claptrap camera control. Say that 3 times fast. And we pull in mic and we just drop it right here. I think it's how do you do this? How do you install an extra program? Do you remember, folks? Info automake. Extra programs. Extra. What is it? Install script. Bin script. There it is. And we called it mic.py. Now it should get installed when we install our stuff. So you know, we're doing rendering. This is show number 71. We're at 17 minutes of 42. Crunching away on the video. So to demonstrate that it actually gets installed, we'll do this. Do you see it installed? I don't. Do you? Oh, there it is. I see it. So it's getting installed into user local bin. A better place would be libexec, because it's going to be a program that our program calls. It's what libexec is for. You don't want to like pollute your path. Should we do that? Nah. We'll leave it right there. So, now what? Well, oopsie. It's not that big of a program, but it is kind of complicated. Here's the whole thing. It's 259 lines long. There is a main, but it doesn't do anything. It's just the command line and kicking off. So the whole thing is here, but it is kind of weird. Let's look at the H file. Try to get reacquainted with this. So we kick it off. We have a number of cameras. We have a camera file because it's saving what cameras get switched. That doesn't happen automatically up here, you know. It happens after the fact, and I process that file. Roam means automatically switch, and columns is just a how you want to arrange the cameras. How many rows and columns, right? So we have a bunch of callbacks right there. When a button gets pressed, we get one of those. When the click is released, we get another one. We have helper functions like update buttons, kick off, get last camera in file. So we're checking that file because it could be changed as we go. So, all right. Where's the kickoff? here's the start. Here's the constructor. We read in our camera control UI file. And we go get these widgets. These are the widgets we want to act on. We make our buttons. We update them. We set our background color to look right. Now we're going to check the file every half second. That's what that does. Huh. So, if we're roaming, then we go to kick off the roaming, and that's what's going on there. Kind of cool. And it starts things off, starts the roam function, which is right here. Which is entirely too complicated, folks, but that's trying to simulate a camera person. So where do we put it? Where do we put our new check? It kind of sucks because it takes a whole second to see what's going on. It takes a whole second. And do we really want to be stuck for a whole second? See what I'm saying? Like, what happens with the next second? And then the next second. You know what I'm saying? Or maybe we just check when we need to, and it's okay that it's a second. I don't know. I haven't thought this part through. But I'll tell you what. We do need a function that reads in the results, runs it, and reads in the number so we can check it. So we're going to call that get silence. Get silence. Get microphone level. How about that? Get microphone level. And I gotta say one other thing. I usually use this thing. Right. That script is not using that. It's using the microphone on the laptop. I figure why not? It's it's just more work to figure out how to get it to read that particular mic rather than the default mic. So, yeah, that's the microphone level it's getting. So there's our function. We'll make one here. We'll call it int claptrap camera control. We need this no matter what, this function. Get microphone level. So there it is, and here it is. We know that we have to run mic py and get back the number it generates. That's what this whole function does. It might not end up being in this function. This functionality is necessary no matter what. So if you write this function, it's got to be usable. Okay. I'm going to go away and write this function, and I'll be right back when I get it done. Ready? All right. You can see we're back. The function is filled out. It doesn't do much. This is the glib way to pipe off a program and listen to its results. I didn't really use the fancy GIO way to read files. I just kind of defaulted to the simplest way in C just to get the number. So we FD open the file. There is construction. It's back. How can I test for silence? How? That's impossible. It mocks me. I'll be back when it's over. Okay, I think they're done. Okay, so you just get the number that it prints out, and we turn it to a number and we return it, and that's it. So we'll just do a quick test. Up on our constructor here, we'll just stick it in here somewhere, get the microphone level, and we'll print it out. Like that. Just to make sure, we'll put it back here at the start. Ba-bam. Okay, we just run our program. It looks something like this. Doesn't matter if we roam yet, but columns for num cameras for nanofile. See? It printed out level. Now we'll do it again, but we'll be making a noise. Beep. Okay, it's working. So we've integrated that Python bit into our program by way of this handy function. I guess it's the Python thing that's handy, and our function is just the necessary evil. Alright, so here's the next little bit. On button pressed. This, when we hit a button, or we automatically roam to a... Oh, I hear sawing. Do you? When we hit a button, it runs this program. And that's what updates the that temp bend, the claptrap control file. So, this happens interactively, but it also happens when we roam. So if we look here, this is the bottom of the roam function. We've done all the stuff we needed to do, and now we're ready to switch to automatically, right? So this is where we want to add in the silence check. This is where we want to add it in. If it's quiet, or wait until silence and then do this. Okay. I'm not sure exactly how to do that. I don't know if I want to put that microphone stuff off into another thread. So this thread can continue doing its thing. So we can still... What happens... There's construction noise. What happens if we're waiting for silence, right? Waiting for silence on camera 1 so we can switch to camera 2. And then we click camera 2. What should happen? We should stop waiting for silence. Makes sense. Anyway, I'm going to keep at it. I'll come back when there's no hammering, no sawing, no nothing. And with some more code. Alright, be back in a bit. Well, folks, construction seems to be done. And I've added some new code. You can see this thing here called the silence worker. That is the thing that goes off and runs mic.py. Does so in its own thread. I'll show you what it looks like here. It's the exact same function, except now we set M level like this. Alright? So M level is our class member. So yeah, our class knows about what number it is by M level, what level it is. And this gobbledygook here in the H is the stuff that forks it off and handles the dispatch of the signal. Now when we're done, we got to get level to see what the level is. So we call this in claptrap control. Here is the place where we would normally send the signal to the button to say, pretend you're pressed. Pretend you're pressed so we can roam, automatically roam to your camera. So we make a new silence worker. We connect to the signal finished on it. And we pass in the button. This is the button number that we were passing before into the other callback. So instead of get microphone level, we have on got microphone level because it's asynchronous. Makes sense? Sort of, maybe? So here's that function. I'm not totally done with it yet, so we have to say silence, if silence worker get level, right, is over or under 20,000, then it's time to, it's time to do it. So what if it's not, though? I haven't thought this part through yet. What if we kind of want to make it wait? We want to do it again now, right? I don't know if my fancy function can do that or not. I might have to like instantiate a new one. Yeah, I would rather do that actually. So let's do that. We just do another one of these, right? Exact same. Like so. The thing we're binding to is now the camera number that we're passing in. Wow, fanciness. So we fork off another. We listen to that. So that means it never gets to here. Is that what that means? I'm not sure. I don't know if this is going to work, folks. But if we do this, then we're done. And we'll set silence worker to null. Does it work? Does it crash horribly? There is the case that I mentioned before that I haven't addressed. And that is the what if we're waiting. What if we're in this loop? Because this makes an endless loop until this is over 20,000 or equal. What if we click on another camera? How do we get out of this loop? It's a good question, right? How do you get out of this loop? And I think the way we do that is we have a new connection thing. So we're just going to call it checking. And we'll know that means checking silence. We'll be even more verbose. Checking silence, like that. And in the other place, we'll call it the same thing. This is the connection. And we can disconnect that at any time. So we'll just add that to our fancy thing here. And we call it checking silence. Bam. All right. So now when we go to press the button, we can just say checking silence disconnect. Either way, we come into this two ways. We come in this the interactive way, we actually click on something, and the non-interactive way, which is the roaming that we just fixed up. I think that works either way. So, does it compile? It's always a good first step. I'm wondering if it works. Do you think it works? Maybe a little? It's going to be kind of hard to test. How will I know if it's waiting? Maybe we could like change one of those, change the color of the numbers to show that it's waiting. Does that make sense? So we ran that before. So what if, like, it goes over to 2 and it just changes it to gray or pink or something? Like it wants to go to 2. Know what I'm saying? But then we'd have to turn it back to white. Ugh. You know what? Let's just see if it works. How do we test this? We run the same thing, but we go roam. We're testing now. The way that, I don't know, you probably notice how this works. It stays on camera 1 the longest. Then it goes to camera 2. Then it goes to camera 3. Then it goes to camera 4. Camera 4, it doesn't go in that order. It just means the most on camera 1, the next most on camera 2, the next most on camera 3, the least most on camera 4. So that means we just have to kind of wait until it switches. And it could go to 2, 3, or 4. We don't know which one. Waiting. Alright, folks, for testing, I added some debugging, and it should be a little bit easier to tell what's happening when. So I'm just going to keep talking here. It's going to switch to camera 2, 3, or 4. I don't know which. But eventually it will, and we will see printouts on the screen about where it wants to go. And if I keep talking, it won't go. I'm going to keep talking, and it's going to keep talking. And eventually when I stop, it's going to go to 2, 3, or 4. Ready? And stop. Whoa! It went to camera 4. Which we call camera 3 because it starts counting at 0. And then we're just going to keep on talking, and it's going to go 1, 2, or 3, but not yet because we're still talking. And then finally we stop. Yay! It works, folks. You know what? I don't think I need to handle the special case where we click right now when we're doing this. What happens if I switch to 1 right now? Ready? And... well, nothing. Did it screw up forever? Is it now not going to work at all? Now that we didn't get a yay? Or did that disconnect thing work? Good question. And it's such a special case. And because it's camera 1 or camera 0, it stays on it the longest. I think it kind of works. This is nice. I have a smart little cameraman now that knows not to switch when I'm in mid-sentence. A little robot cameraman. Okay, I'm going to keep talking. Any second now it's going to switch. It's going to switch, and we're going to keep talking, and maybe I shouldn't talk. Novel idea, Ben. Okay, silence. The normal case. Hopefully. I'm going to switch to 2, 3, or 4. Here we go. Come on. Maybe it's broken. It could be broken. I know why it's broken. Oh, darn it. Claptrap, delete, silence worker. This never happens. That never happens now. So we're going to stick it in on button press where we do the disconnect. All right, that should be it, folks. Do you really want to sit through this again? This is the unfun part. Just making sure everything kind of works. I'll be back when it gets good. Well, I'm just going to start talking now. I think any second now it'll probably switch. There, it's switching. It's switching. It doesn't know which one. I don't know which one it's going to go to yet. It's 2, 3, or 4. This is kind of fun. I got to keep talking, though, because I'm going to click 2. Ready, and... Ooh. It's a warning. What do you think? It's only a warning. Is everything broken now? It's going to switch? It does. All right, so we got a warning out of it. And that's a normal switch. All right. Going to camera 1, which means 2. All right, folks. This works. Cling! And this will be in the next video. Now it will no longer switch while I talk, because I'm going to just keep talking and talking and talking. And eventually I'll stop and it'll switch. Yeah, that's awesome. That was a little fast, actually. But anyway, you get the idea. Program complete. Program complete. Wow, see, that switched while we were talking for sure. Maybe this is broken. Maybe this is broken. I don't know. Maybe I'm just not close enough to the mic. It might have to change. We might have to change that number, that 20,000, to some other number. Anyway, that's it for me. See you next time. Bye-bye.